Menopausal and perimenopausal women, listen up. It's time to take control of your health and comfort, and Winona is here to help. Winona is a telemedicine company for menopause care who believes that your symptoms are real, important, and deserve to be taken seriously. And for many women, this starts with hormone replacement therapy. Winona's HRT is made with plant-based, bioidentical hormones rather than synthetic ones, so it better aligns with your body to offer relief from hot flashes, weight gain, and other uncomfortable symptoms. 80% of women who use Winona find relief within just 90 days. So, what are you waiting for? Get started today. Visit buywinona.com today to start your free visit. With free shipping and the ability to pause or cancel at any time, your path to wellness has zero obligations. Use code SPRING24 at buywinona.com for 25% off your first treatment plan. That's BYWINONA.com for 25% off. Winona. Menopause care made easy. Summer is the season of hot temperatures, outdoor adventures, and refreshing water activities. Summer is also the season of rough on your feet, causing dry, cracked heels and toes. Introducing Babyfoot, the original exfoliation foot peel that contains 16 natural extracts formulated to remove dead skin cells in 3 easy steps. Apply the booties, relax for an hour, then wash your feet. In 14 days, you've got baby smooth skin and your feet have never been softer. Letting dead skin cells build up over time is hazardous to your foot health. Our professional-grade DIY products, like our original exfoliation foot peel, our men's foot peel, or our moisturizing mask, are some of the best foot care products on the market, created with your foot health in mind. Pamper yourself with a spa day from the comfort and convenience of your own home with Babyfoot. If you want a chemical-free, easy-to-use exfoliating process from the company that created the original foot peel, it's time to treat yourself to Babyfoot. Go to babyfoot.com and use the code SUMMERFEET24 and get 20% off your first order with Babyfoot. That's babyfoot.com and use the code SUMMERFEET24.
Hello and welcome to Too Stupid to Live, a podcast that reviews romance novels $5 and under. I'm your host, Becky Feldman, and I'd say, guys, grab your cowboy hat, put on those cowboy boots, maybe have the idea of shape shifters in the back of your mind, because hooey, do we have a great episode for you today. So on this episode, we are headed to the wild west to review a fantasy western romance entitled Cowboy Dragon, which is written by Terry Bullrider and is currently $2.99. So here's the thing. If you like Western romances but are kind of like meh about fantasy, I will say don't worry, this is a book for you. And here's another book if you like Western romances, especially anthologies. Now out in mass market from Zebra Books is Lone Wolf, which features 3 novellas from New York Times best-selling authors Diana Palmer, Kate Pierce, and Rebecca Zanetti. And these sexy and suspenseful stories, they all feature characters that have wolves as pets or companions. And I'm talking about real wolves, not like shifter wolves, so like wolves. And if you ask me, that's pretty badass. Like, if you're able to, like, tame a wolf and have it be your friend, and you're not scared, that's amazing. Like, I used to work as a dog walker, and there was this one Chihuahua that was, like, no joke, the size of a baby foot. And she scared the shit out of me. Like, if dragons were real, I would be more scared of that tiny little baby foot-sized dog than the dragon. That said, guys, I'm going on a tangent again. If you are looking for a fun, early summer read, definitely check out Lone Wolf. All of these novellas have the tropes you all love, including fish out of water and enemies to lovers, and you can find out more information on tstlpodcast.com. Joining me today, I'm so excited for this guest, is Phillip Iscove, who is the host of Podcasts Like It's 1999, which reviews movies and TV shows that all came out in 1999. I had such a fun time recording, and you will have the best time listening, so please enjoy this review of Cowboy Dragon. Phillip,
hello.
Welcome to Too Stupid to Live.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Of course. I mean, who doesn't want to talk about sexy dragons?
I completely agree with you. It's a good time to talk about sexy dragons,
It
I
is.
think. But I want to ask you, before
Please.
reading this sexy dragon book, have
Hmm.
you ever leafed through or read romance before?
I have not. I mean, I think the only thing that's close to it is I think I read the first 10 pages of 50 Shades of Grey. I think
That's
that's
enough.
probably it is enough. It was enough for me to know that
Uh-huh.
that I was not going to continue.
Hmm.
It's and I don't. I know that sounds judgy. I had not read something sort of overtly uh, romance novel, erotica. I don't know what the right terminology for what does this fall into? Because this seems to fall into a bunch of genres.
See,
This particular book.
you ask a very good question because I I had that question as well because like erotica I think is just like sex 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 no
Hmm.
story versus romance where
Interesting.
there's a story but there is sex and sex kind of like propels the story forward.
Hmm.
I feel like sometimes this book verged on the side of like, wow, this is a lot of sex. Like, I
Hmm.
forgot the story for a second. Oh yeah, it's about a cowboy dragon. So I feel like this like kind of like
Yeah.
fell between both categories.
Yeah, it it really does seem to have its toe or any number of other appendages in a bunch of different pies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, I didn't really know what to expect, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I read you suggested two different books,
Mm-hmm.
and I went with the shape-shifting dragon because you know
Because the
when
title.
am I ever going to read that? When is that ever going to land in front of me?
Mm-hmm.
And it starts pretty kind of run of the mill a little like it until it really starts to kind of it's about 50 pages into a 200-page book
Mm-hmm.
where
Mm-hmm.
you're just like, all right, so there's this guy and other cowboys, and I don't know. But then it really goes there, and then it's a pretty wild ride for that last 150 pages.
Holy moly, I agree. I
Hmm. Hmm.
completely agree.
Hmm.
It was like a total wild ride. Um
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I will read a quick synopsis so everyone knows
Please
what we're
do.
talking about.
Hmm.
Okay, so the book that we are reviewing today is Cowboy Dragon by Terry Bullrider. It is
Sure.
currently $2.99. It is book one in the Text and Dragon series. Okay, here's the synopsis. In a last ditch effort to find a place to stay and earn some money, the sultry and feisty Marion West heads to Dragonclaw Ranch and seeks the help of a cowboy named Harrison. And with his unbelievably sculpted bod, dominant demeanor, and the way he looks at her, he is making Marion's body flutter. But she's not the only one fluttering at Dragonclaw Ranch. Harrison is too. But in his case, he's also breathing fire. Because Marion isn't just knocking boots with a cowboy, she's knocking boots with a cowboy dragon.
So, spoiler, he never actually does breathe fire.
No, he's not. Okay, I'm just going to say this off the bat. Not a lot of dragon stuff for a book called
Very,
Cowboy
very
Dragon.
few dragons.
It was so, I think it was like very disappointing for me. Like, when
Yeah.
I saw this, I just wanted to see a dragon flying around with a
Mhm.
cowboy hat on.
A reasonable expectation, by the way.
Thank you.
For sure. It's interesting. There's a couple moments, one in particular where I was like, is this gonna go there? Like, is she gonna fuck a dragon? Like at one point, I mean,
Mhm.
and I say because there's a moment when he's having sex with her where like a claw comes out.
Yes.
And I was like, wait, whoa, are we doing this? And then they drop it. Then it never happens again.
Mhm.
I was just
Mhm.
like, listen, I mean, maybe that's like book 2 or 3 where like things start to get more reptilian or however you want to call it.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I was expecting more. That felt like it was hinting at something like that he couldn't hold back his dragonness.
Yeah. So
but
like
then he does.
he's like in the moment, and then he's like, dragon, I'm a dragon, go back, and then it's like nothing happened.
Right. He's like, good thing she didn't notice. Like,
yeah. That was
weird.
so odd. And it was like the oddest thing where it's like, okay, this is later in the book. They're getting hot and heavy. He wants to rip those panties off. And so he doesn't have time to just take the 2 seconds to just pull him down. He's like, no.
Correct. Claw.
This dragon's got to do it right away. Turns his hand into a claw and just rips them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Which, by the way, like a great moment. And it felt like a moment, a hinting at something, to come, which I guess he did. But you understand my point. Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was what, like you said, 50% into the book, and that was one of the 2 times we get a hint of dragon stuff, kind of him being a dragon.
Well, she does ride him like Falcor at the end.
She does. And that was a cool scene. But, like, I wanted to see, like, more scenes where he kind of just, like, dragons out.
Yeah, it really does sort of, it doesn't fully commit to much other than, like, the sex. The sex is a full commitment, like double, triple, quadruple down on the sex. The rest of it sort of feels like she doesn't really know much about dragons or doesn't really care that much about dragons.
Yes.
It's interesting too, because I was just happened to be watching some of New Moon. It was on Showtime last night, and I was like, oh, I mean, Twilight, whatever, it was on. So my roommate and I watched, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes of it. They seem to be pretty it is enough. They seem to be cycling through the series on Showtime, so they just happen to kind of all be on periodically. So I'll just kind of watch a bit here and there. This feels a little bit like it wants a bit of the Twilight vibe of just sort of there's like a werewolf component and there's a dragon component, and there's this forbidden love kind of angle. But it all kind of feels like I don't want to give it all away in book 1, right? Like she's kind of holding back on some stuff. I think it's a she. Is it a she that wrote this book? Forgive me. I don't know.
She.
I think it is.
I'm assuming.
So I don't want to speak. I don't want to be engendered. But my point is that like there is elements of a mythology, but there's a lack of commitment to it.
Oh my God, 100%. Like I kept writing again and again, world building. And you didn't get enough of it.
You don't.
What was like, because like you're into like sci-fi and fantasy to some degree, what are your feelings like around dragons and things with dragons?
So first of all, I don't want to make it sound as though I'm some sort of I don't know that world that well.
Right.
So I don't read a ton of fantasy books. I actually find fantasy books tend to be a bit dense for me. I tried to read the first Game of Thrones book and I was just like, this is too much for me.
Right.
I know there are people that love that and love that sort of granular detail that they go into and sort of, to your point, that whole world building thing. So I don't want to sound as though I'm an expert on that in any way. That being said, I know enough about it to know that this doesn't go there.
No.
So and by the way, it's perhaps an unfair expectation as well, to some degree. Like as I was reading this book, I was like, listen, this book is what this book is, and to be bummed that it's not something else is a little unfair. Like this idea of like, what did I think the erotica with Cowboy Dragons exactly was going to be?
Yeah.
And it pretty much is what I expected it to be.
I think that's great, though. And I love that attitude because, like, I think, like, okay, romance is, like, a huge market, right? It's, like, 30%. Sure. And it's, like, that's why readers read it. Like, they know what they're getting into. Like, if we know this author, it's under the romance category. It's Cowboy Dragon. It's, like, yeah. I just want to get to this sex. I'll say this, too. Like, having never read anything like this before, it was very entertaining and it was very sort of like
turn your brain off. It was very, very easy to read. And I don't mean to make that sound, judgmental, because it's not. It was just a fun read. And by the end of it, I was like, okay, it was actually, I don't know. We got to talk about the ending because it's a little anticlimactic. You're just kind of like, anyway, but we'll get there. But I did, when it was over, first of all, like, so I'm reading it, and periodically I'm looking at like how much is left here and there. And I'm reading, and then it was just like epilogue. And I was like, epilogue, like it kind of like jarringly ends.
I agree. Yeah.
But I have to say that speaks to me wanting more from it, in terms of like, oh, you probably could have given me another 20, 25 pages of something here to kind of not make it seem like, and it's over. But, maybe book 2, starts where, is there a book 2 that we can read?
There is a book 2 that we can read. It's about, so Dragonclaw Ranch has a lot of shifter cowboys.
Sure.
And there is Beck, who I think I can't memorize all. He's a dragon shifter. I don't know what type of dragon, because there's sub-dragons.
Yeah, there's like subcategories. Yeah.
Which, that is interesting. Like, that to me is very interesting.
Yes.
But it's also the prime example of being unexplored. And it's like, oh, there's plains dragons and this type of dragon.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. And then it's like, anyway, you're a dragon. Bye.
Yeah, and then there's like a tiger.
Yeah.
You're just like there, it just, so much of it feels like tee up, right? Where it's like, but like you have to also make book 1 be satisfying in its own right too. Like, it can't all just be like, and then in the next books we'll explore all this sort of stuff. But at the end, Beck does sort of hint at like where his coin went. We don't know where his coin went, so I mean, maybe book 2 is about him. There's Harrison, Beck, Clancy,
and
Dallas?
Dallas, yeah, because obviously that's a cowboy name.
And Reno,
yeah,
right. So 2 of them are named after places for reasons that are not unexplored,
unexpected. Sure.
It's, here's what's interesting. So the book opens with them just like being a bunch of cowboys just hanging out, right? Like,
right.
No big deal. And then there's smoke. They see smoke. And literally I thought, it's her car and it's overheated and it's the smoke from the car. Like, that was literally like, that's obviously what it is.
Everything about the beginning of this book is guessable. Like, if you're reading it and you're like, I bet that's going to happen, you're right.
100%. And then he gets there, and obviously there's like a tussle between the werewolf, which are kind of like these. It's interesting how like werewolves tend to be on the white trash end of the spectrum. They always seem to be in genre. And I speak like in True Blood, it felt like that was kind of the case.
Yeah.
But so there's that. And then these werewolves are like kind of circling her, and then Harrison comes to her rescue. It's crazy for me to say this, but the book should have just been longer, because like there's stuff there where like there's no kind of build up to their relationship. They immediately we're told many times in the first like 50 pages about how much they're at odds with each other, and the banter and the like, I can't believe that he's like this and I can't believe she's like this. But like, you don't really feel it.
No, they have the hots for each other. Like it's
immediately.
Like, yeah. It was definitely the hatred and the avoidance of like, I'm not hooking up with you. Was like, come on, this could be a little.
Right.
Like, you want to get to it, and you want to have
it a little bit. Yeah. It's a little bit of the lady doth protest too much at times.
Agreed. Yeah, I totally agree with you. So, okay. What was I going to ask you? Okay, so we have Mary, her car breaks down, Harrison finds her, and she's like, listen, I have this coin that my dad gave me, and he's like, when my life is terrible, which it is right now, I'm supposed to like give you this coin, Harrison, and Harrison's like, I'll take, and this is like a 30-year-old, which, by the way, the description of him was beautifully written.
Yes, I was just going to read a pass. I was
Oh
going to
my
read
God.
his
Please
Harrison's
read
first
it.
line by the. No, I don't have that passage.
Oh, okay.
But Harrison's first line is "Get out of here, you damn varmints," which I mean is just. I mean, it's chef's kiss in terms of where he starts from. There's a passage here where she says, her gaze was met by two eyes so blue they put the noonday sky to shame. The person they belonged to was pure male, rippling muscle from head to toe, with a face as beautiful as an angel and a body built for sinning.
I mean, that is
good
like,
stuff.
it's
I mean,
quintessential. Like, that's great writing. Like, and I mean that, and I'm not saying this like facetiously or anything. Like, in terms of the genre of like getting you on board, like it's perfect.
Yeah. And then she says, this man was all cowboy. I mean, yeah, it's it's I mean, you know what you're in for.
Yes.
From basically her description of him. It's she says she could almost envy this cowboy if he wasn't such a dick. I didn't really think he was that much of a dick.
I agree.
Nor did I think she was that much of a city slicker. Like, they're constantly throwing this back and forth, and I'm like, it's not like she's, this isn't, I don't know. She doesn't seem like she's from Beverly Hills or something, and she like doesn't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, what's this? I stepped in hay. That's so gross." Like, that's a city slicker. Like, it's not. She's not like, "Hey, I know how to like do some farm stuff," but nope, she's a city slicker. Like, she doesn't ride horses all the time.
And she wants to learn. She's not like rejecting his world really in any way. Yeah. She's got a car named Freddie. Sorry, Freddie.
Oh. It's okay.
There's a bunch of like weird anthropomorphizing, which I understand because of the dragon thing. But then there's is it Gary the raccoon?
Yes. They have a raccoon that's like, just hangs around.
And kind of saves her in the end.
Yes. Weird. Because like he like, so he's like this raccoon that like, I thought that it was going to turn into a human at one point of just like, this is the 9th member of our crew, like Dustin or something.
Yeah, and he's like overweight, and he's like he's not hot at all. Like, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting him to show up and be like Danny DeVito or something like that, where you're just like.
That would have been amazing. I'm just like, this is all the cards I was dealt.
It's like, whatever. Raccoon. I'm a raccoon.
I'm a trash eater.
Yeah. I would have. I mean, it wouldn't have surprised me. But,
like, these people can turn into fantastical animals that don't exist. Yeah. I'm someone people don't like.
It's very strange. But I mean, listen. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Marion learns that, like, when she gets there, that, like, you see the start of, like, some sort of, like, external conflict of the Dragon Claw farm dragons against this gang, I guess, called the Copperheads. And there's a confrontation.
Right. Copperheads, copper tops.
Yeah.
Copperheads.
I think it's Copperheads.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
There's like there's like this it's kind of like a Hatfields McCoy situation where it feels like they're grappling over land or something along those lines. But then
they were grappling. I had no idea. I just thought they didn't like each other.
Well, it felt like the Copperheads were pissed that the dragons had this land, like that had kind of. And this is the other. I mean, listen, there's a bunch of things that are unexplained, but we don't know how long they've had this land for. We don't know, quite frankly, why they have this land. We don't know where these dragons came from. There's really just a real lack of backstory when it comes to a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like they tussle here and there, but then I guess it's in like the final third of the book, they drop this bomb about there being some underground creatures that are awoken when there's lots of rain.
Yes.
And we don't they like tremors basically. and they're called, fuck, what were they
They're
called?
like reptiles.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're called like not bollocks. Hold on.
Ballisks.
Yeah.
Something like that. Which
Yeah.
we're not really explained as to what that means. All we know is that the dragons are scared of them, which
Yes.
is obviously a bad thing.
Because if dragons are scared of these like ballisks,
we should be scared.
We should be scared.
Right.
But do we see any ballisks in this book at all?
Nope.
No, we don't.
In fact, it rains a bunch and they don't come out. And then the book's over.
And you're waiting for it. And you're like, where are the ballisks?
You're like, what was that? Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of, for a book that is very focused on climax.
Sure.
And very focused on making sure that it pays off. It does not pay off really anything on the dragon level.
This is what this book felt like. Like, let's say that there's like a TV series and it's all about just like Dragonclaw Farm and it's dragons. We got the ballisks. We got all the guys. It's their battles. This book felt like a bottleneck episode of just a character study between two characters. And it was good. It was great.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be the pilot. Do you know what I mean?
You know, I'm going to be completely honest when I say that when I started reading this book or when I read the synopsis, I was like, is there a TV show in this? Like, is there a movie in this? Like, could there actually be something in this? And the reality is no. But there's something like, listen, dragons are a big deal. Obviously, people love dragons. They love Game of Thrones, whatever. And dragons are kind of the new vampires, I guess. People are done with vampires.
Yeah.
So, like, the shape-shifting element of it, it's a little incongruent, right? A person turning into a dragon feels a little bit like doesn't make a ton of sense.
Right.
Dragons being, immense creatures and a human not being that. Right. So that made my head hurt a little bit. But it's jamming a bunch of things together. Your Twilight, your Game of Thrones, your 50 Shades of Grey. Like, it's really mashing all these things together. And with a little bit more mythological depth, like just kicking the tires on world building, as you said, there actually might have been something here. Oh,
sure. Like, there could be a series that's like Cowboy Dragon, like Dragons of the West, right? Yep. And it's just like all about like the different types of like dragons out in the West doing cowboy stuff.
Yep.
Being dragons, like that to me is so interesting.
Yep.
And
I agree.
Yeah. Then Marion can come in and it's like a B plot,
Yeah, the sex is so explicit. That, I mean, obviously you couldn't really make that, I don't think. I mean, it really is just like a super horny Game of Thrones.
Yes. Yeah, cowboys. I feel like the show that I think you and I are talking about does not include the sex that's in this book. I think it includes cowboys who turn into dragons who wear dragon cowboy hats.
Yes. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. The show that we are talking about is one that sort of dials that sex back a bunch. Because it's just straight up pornography.
It is. It's very it's dense. And I think that it's a lot denser than some of the other books that I've read recently. And I'm curious, I think it's because the book is shorter. And so, but the sex scenes were the same length as any other book. So it was like, 75% sex, which is fine. It's fine. It was great. Great.
Yeah,
I was happy for them.
Yeah. I was very happy for them. They seem to really enjoy themselves. And, I feel like I might have learned a thing or two.
Oh, good.
So that's something. Yeah, it's really, it's a lot. Like, at times I did find myself kind of being like, okay, all right. So this feels like it's taking a long time. This feels like stamina comes into play at a certain point, but I mean, God bless them.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like as fantastical as Cowboy Dragons are, the most fantastical was how amazing this sex was for her. Like, I was just like, whoa, that you are having so many orgasms that, like, they're just, like, popping out of nowhere. And it gets to the point where it's just like, she had another orgasm, great. And then you're, like, moving on. And it's like, oh my God.
And not just any orgasm. These feel like mind-blowing next level of consciousness type orgasms and like I respect and appreciate the fact that and I know that like these books are written primarily for women, so I understand why it's so paramount to him to please her when, you know, let's just say most men probably aren't as giving a lover as Harrison is.
No.
So I understand why the fantasy is that a man would be the greatest lover that's ever been, which is what he essentially says to her up top, where he says, if we have sex, you'll never want to be with another man ever again. And from the sounds of it, that feels pretty accurate. I mean, it does feel like
so cocky. I like that. It made me very anxious to have him say that. I'm like, dude, you know her a week.
Yeah, but I think he also knows the human body apparently very well. I mean, it's like, I mean, there's a line where she says after they kiss for the first time, his lips crashed over hers, bringing them together in an intense kiss so hot it was like a cattle brand on his heart. It's beautiful.
It's so cowboy-y. There was another one cowboy-y where they were like, their bodies were so close together. It was like tumbleweed caught in a barbed wire. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. I love it.
I love it, but also like, what? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of imagery in this book that definitely makes you go like, huh, I mean, I can visualize that, but I don't really know what you're going for.
Yes. And I feel like the language too was also like, it kind of made it seem like there were these like, and I'm not from the West, obviously, you know, but it's just like those sayings of like, she lost hope a long time ago when men were good and happy endings were happy. And it's like, and then she pulled out her iPhone, you know, or whatever. And it's like, well, what year is this? And who's the narrator? I mean, I love it.
Sure.
Added to the thing. But then it was also like, are these like actual sayings?
It's interesting you say that, because when I first started reading when you sent me the books to choose from, I clicked on the link for this one, you know, Cowboy Dragon, and it didn't say they were shape-shifting dragons.
No.
So my brain goes to, well, this is about cowboys that wrangle dragons, right? Like that's what I thought in my brain, right? Because that makes a little bit more sense. I mean, not a lot, but a little bit more sense. So I start reading this book, and then within the first couple of pages, I'm like, wait a fucking second. Are they actually dragons? Because it's a little unclear in the beginning. The way it's described, you're just like, wait, what? And then once that happened, I was like, okay, obviously now I'm in. If I wasn't in before, I'm in so much more now. But it also, it melts your brain a little bit, because you're just like, I don't really understand. Like the cowboy wrangling, like I understand a hot cowboy that's like such a man that he can wrangle a fucking dragon. Like that's pretty hot. That's what I thought this book was. Turns out that's not what it was.
Wow. But you loved the idea when you discovered that, no, these are dragon shifters. You were like, nice.
Well, I did love the idea. But more than anything, I was just happy to not be confused anymore. Because like the first couple pages, I was just like, what is happening? I don't understand. And then once I was like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Now I'm on its wavelength, because I really wasn't in the beginning.
Right.
Because it's all like atmosphere and shit in the beginning. And it speaks of like their dragon. Like at one point there's a line where he says his dragon was inner dragons.
Yeah. Like all of these guys, they have like an inner dragon or whatever they shift into inside of them, being like, that's my mate, protect her, fight, eat food, like, you know, like...
accurate. That is an accurate description. I'm not lying either. To the listeners, that is inaccurate. It's kind of like, did you ever read his Dark Materials?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, in that, every person has a daemon, it's spelled Daem, like a demon, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's a animal personification of their spirit, which is sort of what this is. It's like their inner Jiminy Cricket, kind of, but it's a dragon or a tiger or whatever, which is tough to convey in the beginning of this book because it's all kind of mood.
Yeah.
You're just like, but what's okay? And then eventually you figure, like at one point he says his dragon was roaring, his body tense with hungry anticipation. So like, it's like his inner animal or something like that.
Yeah. I feel like this is one of those books because I have read dragon romances before. And,
oh, wow. Okay. So this is an old hat for you.
It's an this old Stetson cowboy hat.
Old Stetson for you.
And by many, I mean, I think one or two. That counts as many.
Sure.
And I feel like if I were to give this author notes, I feel like you need to open on seeing a dragon. Do you know what I mean? Open on an epic dragon thing, and then we're like, okay, there's dragons. This is what dragons do. This is what they look like. Like, they could have started it on the flashback of the scene of, like, Harrison saving Marion's dad.
Yep.
Cut to however many years later.
Yep.
And I feel like if I hadn't read dragon books before this, I would have had no idea what the fuck is going on.
It's very unclear.
Yeah.
It's very unclear in the beginning. So much so to your point where, like, I don't know if I needed to see a full-fledged dragon, but I certainly needed to see some sort of a transition that's going on, like seeing a tail that slowly disappears, or a claw, or a fucking wings, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that there's something that makes me go like, okay. Because even when he fully turns into a dragon at the end, it still feels very sort of like, but is it really him, or is it some sort of, Yeah.
The
rules are murky.
Oh my God, 100%. Because like I feel like in like shifter worlds, like I like to know, like when someone becomes an animal, you need to fully define, like, can they talk or do they just like growl?
Totally.
In this world, the dragons talk just like duh, and it's like, what? Well, what does his voice sound like?
Yeah. Do you ever see the movie Dragonheart? Have you ever seen this movie?
Yes.
Okay. Where the dragon sounds like Sean Connery?
Yes, yeah.
So like so this was sort of like when she's riding him and he's like flying and you're just like, so your boyfriend is just talking to you, but he's a fucking dragon right now, and that seems totally fine to her. Exactly. It's very strange. Like on some level, I wish it was a telepathy thing.
That would have been cool.
But
it's just like she didn't explain and the mechanics about it, which I like. It was just like, well, like, is it hard to hear because of all of the wind and the flapping? Is his voice lower? Do you feel vibrations? Do you have to like turn your body? Are you shouting so your voice can reach his ear? Like, there's like all these different like, you know, things that like I was stuck on instead of like, I mean, love this book. I was fully in the scene, but it was those little things that I was like, well, hang on a second. There's so much more room for description as to like how this looks.
The logistics of it are murky, and she's not interested in getting into it. Because she's just like, listen, there are fucking dragons, and this guy's hot. And like, he just wants to bang. Yeah. And that's cool.
And I definitely got that point when we have the moment when Marion discovers that she lives with dragons or whatever, is that it's the first night after they had sex. It's what a banger of a night.
Yeah. It was a hell of a night.
It was a hell of a night. What a fiery night. It gets even fierier when she discovers that, like, I guess it's like Beck or whoever coming in dragon form, and she's like, what?
Not nearly as blown away by it, by the way, as you would expect.
No.
Like the next morning, she's just like, so you're all dragons? And he's like, yeah. She's like, all right. Like, she's kind of fine with it.
Exactly.
Because, by the way, she's just like, listen, mind-blowing sex. He's fine, he's a dragon. That sex was worth it. Like, that's basically the impression that you get.
Yeah. And so because of that, that was the moment when I learned, okay, all of these logistics don't matter. You have a woman who's like, there's dragons in this world? Great. I'll get back to work now. And it's like, okay, now, great. We can get the story moving forward. I'm here for that.
It's amazing to me that, like, the largest hurdle that Harrison and Marion need to, oh my God, obstacle that they have to get around is essentially a miscommunication. Where he overhears a conversation, misunderstands a conversation that she has, because apparently sarcasm doesn't exist in dragons. So he doesn't understand that she doesn't mean it when she's talking to her aunt about wanting to go home. And he was going to propose, and he feels rejected. And then he's a dick. And she's like, well, why are you being a dick? And then they kind of get in a bit of a pissing contest. They kind of get like upset at each other. But it's resolved in literally like 5 pages. It's not as though like for any extended period of time you actually think these two aren't going to make it work.
Oh yeah, it is like, and the book kind of even says it a little bit, where it's like Marion was driving off and she was like, she knew she was going to drive back, but she was just like driving off in a huff because she's feisty and stubborn. Yeah, and so it's like, okay, yeah, they're going to be together. We all know.
But it's like the dragon thing isn't a big deal. But the conversation with the aunt, buckle up, because that's a real fucking problem.
Yeah, and it's like, because my thought goes to, okay, if I were like in love with a dragon and he was going to stay 30 years old forever, and I, like, my first question is, but when I turn 31, you're going to dump me. You know, like, are we still going to be together? Yeah. And he doesn't explain that, like, hey, when you mate with a dragon without a condom, which great, that gives you dragon magic to stay as young as me. Forever.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like, there are so many Deus Ex Machinas in this thing. Like, they dump so much shit at the end where they're like, oh, and by the way, like, this thing that makes everything fine, don't worry about, like, so it's a lot of like that shit that they kind of, the condom thing. At one point when he puts on a condom, I was like, you putting on a condom because you're afraid to get her pregnant? Like, you afraid that she's going to have like a dragon baby or something like that? Which, I mean, all right, I guess. But, so here's the line that, but after a minute, even the panties are too much separation between them and what he wanted. And while she wasn't looking, he carefully hooked a claw through the side of the fabric, slicing it and pulling it aside so he could kiss her directly. There's also a lot of talk of her center.
Yes.
I have a lot of talk of, I didn't know that was a euphemism for apparently a woman's genitals.
I feel like I haven't read center as much. I feel
this
like
was a lot of talk of center. There's a lot of talk of his girth. There's a lot of talk of that.
They use the term member, which is like his member. And like that is like made fun of by romance novelists. You know what I mean? Like they're like, I never write member. You know, and then it was in there.
The first time I think it's not the first time they have sex. I think it's, maybe it is. But anyway, Marion says, there's a line where it says, Marion's words were a spew of obscenities not fit to be within 100 yards of any church.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great.
I
mean, it's great. It's great. Please. No, please.
Oh, I was just thinking, like, when the dragons discover that using a condom would help them not, like, if they, like a condom helps them not mate for life. Like, the condom protects against magic that keeps the person younger. Like, when did they discover this? Like, when we're like, oh, did you hear of this thing, boys? It's called a condom. It'll keep the women.
This is the question, right? I mean, I mean, there's just, It makes so little sense. How long have the dragons been around? Like we just don't know vital pieces of information. And then she just gives us mythology only when it is absolutely necessary to know it to get to the next scene, as opposed to like an investment in the world.
Right. Yeah. She basically says, they're like, how long has dragons been around? And they're like, well, we were here before electricity was invented. And it's like,
okay,
that doesn't give us anything. Were you here during the dinosaurs, or were you here like during the 1700s?
And also, I mean, this is the thing where like dragon lore, for what it's worth, feels like it certainly goes back to like medieval times.
Sure.
That's long before electricity.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't really. It's also like, it makes me think. I thought a fair amount about True Blood as I was reading this, because it feels like True Blood. I read the first True Blood book because I was a huge fan of 6 Feet Under, and I really wanted to know what Alan Ball was up to next. So I read the first book, and the book is very pulpy, like very sort of like trashy kind of whatever. And I was sort of like, okay, this feels a little bit sort of, I don't want to say beneath Alan Ball, but I was just like, I didn't really get it. And then I read it I read his pilot when it was adapted, and I was like, okay, like he's kind of pulling from all these different things, and he's kind of running with the vibe of the book as opposed to sort of the very specifics of it. But then when you get into series and you have Bill, who is in the Civil War, like this idea of a creature or some sort of supernatural being that's been around for hundreds or thousands of years, that's really great terrain. She does none of it. Zero interest in any of it. So I'm just like, all right. I mean, that's just her prerogative, but there's just not much there.
But, and I always think like, okay, well, because like, okay, in True Blood, like Bill has been around since the Civil War, and he still acts
probably
like
before that too.
Yeah, and he still like is like kind of has like PTSD, I suppose, from the Civil War. He still acts like he was a man who was in the Civil War.
Yep.
These guys, if they were around in the 1600s, like, wouldn't they still being like, hello, ye fair maiden? Like, and she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, what year is, like, you know what I mean? Like, you would have, it could add so much to their character.
Yeah, I agree. There's also just like, there's hundreds and hundreds of years of, of drama and things that could have happened to them. And, emotional, physical scars, all that kind of stuff and again, it says Texas Dragons book 1. I mean, listen, there might just be many, many more. I don't know. I have to say that I wish I liked Marion. I actually thought that, I thought that when, push came to shove, she was, there was depth there, and there was sort of conflict, and there was a real character there. Harrison's just a meat puppet.
Yeah, he was just like Matthew. Like he felt like someone doing an impression of Matthew McConaughey. Like he was just like cowboy.
Yeah. He just felt like just a hot cowboy who just kind of didn't. If anything, I would say that Harrison was a little bit emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
There was a lot of moments where he was just like, she's the greatest fucking creature that's ever walked this earth. And you're like, dude, she's fine. Like, she's cool, I guess. But like, why are you acting like a psycho?
Yes. There's one point where he's like, she's the smartest person I ever met. And then I was like, okay, you've been around since electricity. I love Marion. She's like smart. She is smart in her own way.
Sure. Yeah.
You were around since before electricity. You've probably met many people. And in terms of intelligence,
this is the smartest person ever. The smartest, most wonderful thing he's ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, she got lost many times in this book. She's been confused. I love her. I think she seems like a lovely person, but like, what? I just didn't get it. But I mean, listen.
I mean, I'm happy for them. I do like to think that as opposed to sharing their feelings and having experiences, that would bring them closer together.
Yeah.
All of those experiences were just sex. And it was the sex that was like bringing them closer together. That was the way they were falling in love, as opposed to, so tell me where you're from. How long have you been alive? What's it like being a dragon? Like, tell me about your childhood. Whatever. We didn't need any of that.
They don't talk.
No, they don't.
They don't learn anything about each other.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if I found out that my girlfriend was a dragon, for instance, I'd have fucking questions.
Yes.
I'd have a lot of questions, in fact. But this chick's just like, listen, whatever, man.
Yeah.
I got railed last night and it was amazing. So no questions asked.
No, this is all I need. When the sex is so good, dragon.
It's kind of amazing too, because I keep thinking, like, he talks about how he was having mind-blowing sex. And I'm like, listen, I'm glad, but like, no joke, 80% of these sexual escapades are directed towards her pleasure. Yeah. And I'm not saying that he can't get pleasure from giving her pleasure. Obviously he can. But like, his pleasure seems kind of beside the point, which is fine. But
yeah, and that's how like the books are, just because of the audience who is reading them. Yeah, but I do agree that there could have been like a bit more, because like there is something appealing to like, if you're a female reader and you're straight, or you're someone, you know, reading this book attracted to men, and you find that like, oh, this person was like the sexiest thing I've ever had. Like, you kind of hear, or you kind of read what's going on in their head. That's still like female gazy and is still like appealing. Yeah, and you don't have that as much in here, for sure.
No. Yeah, it's for a book that's essentially a two-hander.
Yeah.
One of them gets to be a character and the other one doesn't really. And guess what? That's not the dragon, which is crazy. One of them is a fucking shape-shifting dragon, and we know nothing about this guy.
Right, and it doesn't matter. It's just
the chick who's just a human gets so much depth. The dragon's just left being like, I don't know.
Yeah, like she could have been the dragon. Like that would have been interesting. Of just like or like if she was a dragon too. I agree. Oh, I'm a lady dragon.
Well, that was what I was waiting. I was waiting for a reveal until they dropped this Deus Ex Machina at the very end of the. Oh, don't worry, I had sex without a condom, so you can live forever now. But before we got to that, I thought that we were going to have a reveal where like the dad was part dragon or part tiger or some fucking part shapeshifter or whatever. And she has some genetic or something in her ancestry that allows her to, you know, whatever. Yeah. But no. Just she just got to have sex without a condom and it's all good.
Dragon magic keeps her young.
Dragon semen keeps her
yeah, I guess it's
forever.
Dragon semen. Can you imagine? Yeah. Like don't worry, my dragon semen will keep you young. And it's like, wait, what? Hang on a second. But I don't have any questions. Let's keep going.
I mean, there's just, it leaves you with a lot of questions, and perhaps that's the intent. Yeah. Was this self-published? Do we know if this is a self-published book, or is this
question. A book? I will look it up now.
I mean, I was merely curious more than anything. Although I'm sure I can find it at the back of this thing, right?
Yes, I do. Yes. Let me see. Is this self-published?
Sample of Onyx Dragon, Awakened Dragons 1. I don't know what that is, but this person has a lot of books.
She has a ton of books, and I was surprised about that. And I think maybe because this book has really good reviews. There's 292 ratings, 4.5 out of 5 stars on Amazon. So my thought is maybe her other books are more well-versed and are like more well-rounded and more like fleshed out. And so maybe she has like this following who's like, oh, the world's so cool. We already know about the world. Oh, let's just like read sexy stuff about cowboys in Texas.
At the end of the book, there's this Amazon thing that says before you go, and then there's like more books by this author.
Yeah.
There's a book called Bad Dragons, Dragon Redeemed, Dragon Reformed, Dragon Released. So those are the Awakened Dragon series. Then there's just books, Wildest Dreams, In Her Dreams, Sweet Dreams. There's Rancher Dragon, which is book 2.
That's Beck. Yeah, in this series. Mm-hmm.
Right. So Beck is a big, growly mountain of a man with a monster of a dragon inside him. He keeps to himself, only leaving dragon, blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to see what his... Beck guards Sierra and helps her ranch. Heat explodes. Okay, so Sierra and Beck, I guess, are Rancher Dragon.
Couple.
That's book 2. Which also has 4.5 stars out of 5.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This was copyright 2021 by Terry Bullrider. I do believe this was self-published.
Yeah, seems that way.
I have to say, great job on the editing. There were no typos. I would not have thought this was self-published. I'll be honest with you. I was like, this is like, the picture's good. Like, the photo's good. Like,
but that is incredible that your review is good for you. No spelling mistakes.
This is a podcast that's $5 and under. The only thing that I can afford.
No, I get it. You don't need to explain.
Stuff.
But here's the thing. Book 2 is only 188 pages. It's shorter. They're not getting longer. They're getting shorter.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm curious, I'm assuming that as the series continues, she'll just explore different dragons?
I think so. I have a feeling it's a series, and like each guy on the Dragonclaw farm is going to have their own love story.
These reviews, Dee Dee said, I wish I had a way with words so I could convey how much I love this book.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
People love it.
Beck's story was better than I ever thought it could be. When an author creates a story where the reader cries, celebrates, and ends with a happy heart, well, that's a great author. These reviews are fantastic. These are all, by the way, for the listener, these are all 5-star reviews. There's nothing under 5 stars on here.
No.
Anyway, listen, I got to be honest. I might read Rancher Dragon. I might do it.
Oh, for sure.
I might do it.
Oh my God. I hope you do. If you do, tell me, and then you can come back on the show and we'll see if we learn more about this world.
I mean, I think it's safe to say we won't.
Right. Sure.
There's less. This book is shorter. But I mean, it's possible.
I just want to make sure. I just want to know that Beck has his happy ending, because he seemed a little troubled. Like, he was like the drunk guy. He didn't.
Dallas seems troubled. Dallas seems like a sociopath. He's always silently lurking and just watching people like a fucking creep. Yeah.
And then weren't they like, was it Clancy where they were like, oh, he's a dragon too? And she's like, what kind? And they're like, you don't want to know or something. And it's like, wait, what?
And what about Reno? Anyway, it's
very confusing. I want to talk about one final thing, is that end fight. She's like kidnapped by the copperheads, and finally we see that dragon.
Yeah.
And then he immediately turns back.
Well, so I have 2 complaints about this finale. The first is what you just said, which is dragon comes out, but it's more of just a like, don't make me do it. And then they're just like, no, all right. So there's that. But then there's also the head of the copperheads, like the big whatever, basically says like, yeah, don't fight them. It's a bad idea.
And then they don't.
And then they don't. You're like, what? It's so lazy. Like, it really is just like, on some level, you feel like the author is like, listen, I know you guys just want the sex. Like, I know that's what you signed up for. You don't really care about the dragons. And let's be real, I don't really care about the dragons. So, I'm just going to give you the bare minimum dragonness that you need, and just don't ask questions, because he's going to fuck her in a bathtub for 5 hours. So it'll be fine.
Exactly. I will say there is a somewhat scuffle when he's like back in human form and he's like punching and stuff.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. I will say,
That's
that was okay. If it wasn't a dragon book where we want to see dragons, my final thought about that part is he turns back and he comes in as a dragon. He's like, don't touch my mate or whatever. Turns back into himself. And magically his hat and his clothes are still on.
Yep.
Are they magic hats and clothes?
Well, I mean, now we're getting into Incredible Hulk territory. Like, why does he always have pants?
Yeah, that's true. It was one of the many UCB sketches that I wrote.
Oh, there you go.
This. Yeah.
So you understand.
It keeps me up at night.
He's always got his little purple pants. Just to make sure that no one sees his Hulk bits.
Yeah.
So, I don't quite. The tussle at the end felt very sort of Footloose to me. Like it
was very Footloose.
Where it's just like, all right, I guess these guys are gonna fight, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it felt like very. How do I say this? When I was picturing it, I pictured like the fights in like West Side Story, where it's like where it's like dancing too.
Yeah, or like Roadhouse.
It's a Roadhouse fight. It's for sure a Roadhouse fight.
It's a
very
Roadhouse
choreographed.
Fight. Yeah, very choreographed. Yeah, I mean, I if I was to cast Harrison, a young Patrick Swayze might very well be who I cast.
He would be great. Yeah.
I don't know who I really, as Marion, I kind of saw like. I'm trying to think of like, I have a picture of her in my head, but it's like, oh man, it's like a Carla Gugino.
Yeah. She would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great casting.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say this, I still love, but like when she was a little younger, because I do feel like she's just gotten like she's got fit now in a way that's like kind of badass. Yeah. But like when she was like a little bit more of like a human.
Right. Yeah. Because I think
it's just now kind of scary.
Yeah.
In the best way, but like
totally, yeah, it's like good for her. But what this book does well is that like our Marion is a curvy girl. She's not stick thin, and I think that's very appealing to like everyday readers. And Harrison, and he loves it. He loves her. He loves her so much. I think at the end of the day that this, if you guys are if anyone's having trouble in their marriage or their relationship and need to find a way to learn how to compromise, learn how to make it work, I'd say read this book.
I don't know that I fully agree with that assessment. I mean, I guess that's actually an interesting question. I wonder if couples, because I know there are couples that like, when they're looking for spice or whatever, they'll watch pornography together or something along those lines. I wonder if couples read erotica together.
I would imagine. I'm sure.
Because it seems like a fun thing to do.
Oh, yeah. When because I feel like, reading erotica is very different than watching porn for me. Like, it's
because it's this.
Yeah,
because
it's
happening.
My eyes as opposed to like my head. It's like so it's more artistic. I can't believe I'm saying that because I've read some complete trash before. But it is like, that's like, really, you're an artist? No fucking way. But like, but it is. But I'm right. And there's like, it's more of like, as dirty as erotica can get, there's a sensuality to it that I don't think a lot of porn has. And by a lot of porn, I mean 99.99% of it.
Yeah, no, pornography is is a race to who can have a climax fastest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Erotica is about telling you a story to some degree or another, and sort of really kind of just making a meal out of it.
Exactly.
Whereas pornography is just like, can we get this over with?
Yeah. It's just, it's just very mechanical.
It's very mechanical. And
it.
And it's also just like, it's titillating in a very sort of like biological way. Whereas this feels like, to some degree or another, whether or not it's effective or not, but it's trying to be emotional, even if it's cheesy and over the top, like it's still attempting that. So
yeah, it's an experience. It's an experience.
It was an experience. I definitely like, I think the other thing about it, and maybe this is saying too much about me, but when you're reading it, it feels like it's in your head. So like it almost feels naughtier than watching pornography in a weird way, because it's like it's in your head and you're like actually feeling these sort of like these characters and what's going on, and it's it's a very it's a journey. It's a real ride.
Real journey. I get it, because like reading it in book form is, just like reading, it's like, whoa, someone typed out the word cock, or like someone typed out the word like, holy shit, they did that. And
many
it's like,
times.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, that's how I felt when I like read like a romance novel for the first time. I'm like, oh my God, like she typed out the word nipple. She wrote that out. And it was like, wow.
There's something very sort of, and again, this might be just because this country or this hemisphere is so puritanical that when you're reading stuff, you're just like, what they wrote that? You feel like you're in a Tennessee Williams play, and you're, and it's very sort of, you're amazed that someone put this down on paper. It's why, like, as I read this, it made me understand, not that I didn't understand it before, but the 50 Shades of Grey phenomenon of what it was, despite the fact that it was essentially just sort of what if Twilight, but more sex.
Yeah.
But like, I understood why those books must have been so much fun, like why people found them so entertaining.
Yeah.
But I'm also just like, I couldn't have sat in a theater and watched that. Like, I don't know what that is.
I want to ask you your final thoughts and a rating.
Please.
Okay. I thought this was, it hit all the right notes by not hitting all the wrong notes. All the wrong notes that it hit was right. And so I give it 7 out of 10 dragon claws.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say dragon dicks.
Or dragon dicks. It doesn't matter. Okay. This is my podcast. Dragon claws and dragon dicks. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't really know what to expect going into any of this. This podcast, this book, all of this. And it was a joy, all of it. So I mean, it was 200 pages. It flew by. It had a lot of sex. If I had some issues, we've discussed them.
Yes.
I think I might give it a 7 out of 10 dragon claws and dicks as well. I mean, it feels like, I mean, I don't know. I might read the next one. It did what it was supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
it is a successful read. It's a successful book. It does what you're right. It does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Well, it does what it's supposed to do well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited that you're going to read the next book. If you do, you have to return to the show so I can hear your
Absolutely.
thoughts.
Absolutely. For sure. There's absolutely no question. I mean, who else would I talk to about it? No one else has read it that I know of anyway.
Well, 292 people apparently on Amazon, but who are they?
Well, those are people that have just commented. I'm sure more people than that have read it.
Oh, I'm sure. Because I'm sure people are like, I'm not going to comment on this. I'm not going to comment as to how much I love this.
Although I have to say, at $2 a pop, 250, she's not getting rich off these.
No, of course not. That's why she probably has so many, because she's probably just like cranking them out.
She's just like, fuck it. Yeah.
Just like all of it together is probably supplementing.
It's good stuff. I gotta say though, I'm a little surprised that it doesn't continue with Harrison and Marion's story.
Really?
I don't know. I kind of was like, okay, so book 1, then book 2, Marion, I don't know, gets pregnant or or I don't know. I guess I was just a little surprised that they asked us to invest in these two characters and then fucked off.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about these series is those, like, Marion and Harrison will probably be like secondary characters in the next book, and she could be pregnant, they could be going through things, like, they're not gonna just like suddenly like go away. They're still there, but like the A plot line will be on like the next hot guy who gets the next girl.
I see.
And I will say, I am totally, like, when I first started reading series, I was like, oh, I want to read the next book, but it's not with these two characters that I really, really like. But then I'll start reading the next book, and then I'm just like, oh, I love these characters. That's not a problem, And it's just as long as we're in the same world.
I get that.
I will say sometimes the second book is better than the first book, but I cannot guarantee that with this.
There often is situations like that where the second movie is better than the first movie. And I mean, I know that, a lot of people, Twilight sort of built that mold of like, don't spend a lot of money on the first one. If it's a hit, you take the money from the first one and you put it into the second one.
Yeah.
And they did that with Hunger Games as well. So like, it does sort of, building blocks and what have you. I don't know. I mean, maybe Beck and Sierra are the new Harrison and Marion. I mean, maybe I'll fall for them all over again.
Oh my God,
Fingers
I hope
crossed.
so. Fingers crossed. I really hoped for a happy ending
for everyone's
for you.
sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so before I let you go, do you have anything you want to promote?
Yeah, I mean, I just got a podcast that you have been on.
So much fun.
It's so much fun. Podcast like it's 1999. It's all about the pop culture from 1999, movies, music, TV, all that. We have a Patreon as well that we just launched, which is about the films of 1989, where we are talking about the sort of the biggest and best movies of 1989. I just wrapped up a mini series on Sex and the City, the second season of Sex and the City that aired in 1999, and in June, I'll be releasing West Wing. We'll be doing West Wing Wednesdays. So we'll be doing the first 10 episodes of The West Wing, which aired in 1999. So yeah, and then we got Dawson's Creek and Ally McBeal and all sorts of other stuff looming. So yeah.
Very exciting. I am so excited. Those are all, you just listed literally all of my favorite shows.
We are, for those who are looking to follow us, we're on Twitter at Podcast Like It's, as well as Instagram and Reddit. And I'm at PM Iscove on Twitter.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
No, this was great. Thank you so much for having me.
Too Stupid to Live is part of the Frolic Podcast Network. For more podcasts you'll love, visit frolic.media/podcasts. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great rest of your day.